Psalms 37:4 says, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you your heart's desire." I want you to journal about your heart's desire today. After you go through my basic 9 and maybe a couple others that really speak to you every single morning, it doesn't need to take more than a couple of minutes. I want you to write down a dream that the Lord has given you. And what happened to that dream? And I'm not necessarily talking about you were dreaming, you were asleep at night, and something came to you. Those stirrings in you when you've had quiet time in the past, when you have lived your life, and it might have been 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30, 50 years ago, it might have been yesterday, when you felt that need, that desire, that movement towards something, and it became a dream of yours. You know, as kids, we dream all the time. We dream about, I wanted to be a veterinarian or a dancer or a pro athlete or whatever it might be, or be on TV, or I want to be a doctor, whatever your dream was. God gives us these dreams throughout our life, and He's giving us these dreams because He wants to work through you to further His good. And He knows that He has blessed you with so many gifts. It's why it's so important to do a spiritual gifts test. And you can Google those and just find them online and do that to see what your gifting is if you're ever confused. But He knows, and so He puts these dreams in your heart. He speaks to you. My daughter was asking me, how do you hear the Lord? And it's not necessarily sitting there and He just talks to you. She's like, does He knock on the other side of the wall? And I was like, well, maybe. But it's when you're still, and when you ask those questions, which I think are so important, that I hope you journal about as well, those questions of, what do you want me to know? And what do you want me to do? And then you're still enough and silent enough in your life, not just in your morning practice, but you make room for that stillness and that silence in other parts of your life as well, to be able to hear that and to be able to feel that. But what's a dream that He has given you in the past? Maybe it was to own your own company. Maybe it was to foster or adopt children. What is a dream that He has given you in the past? And if you don't think that you have one, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Often in journaling, in your morning devotional time, that's what it's all about. It's about asking the question, and what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Because that's the Holy Spirit. That's your Lord. You've come to Him in a quiet space, and now He can come to you. So you ask the question, and what's the first thing that comes to mind? So then the follow-up question that is, what happened to that dream? If you're not living it out right now, what happened to that dream? The Lord wants to fulfill your heart's desires. You just have to spend the time listening and then follow through with the dreams that He's given you.
What?
I'll put up a couple of those Bible verses as well for you. And think about those too as you journal.